Irashaimase. Hello and welcome to Fitaurus Kitchen. I'm your host, Chef Fitaurus. It's time once again for Shoot 'em Up Saturday, and on the menu this Saturday we have Aero Fighters 3, a classic video system shoot 'em up now available as an arcade archive Neo Geo title. What kind of taste will it have? Let's get cooking and find out. Originally released in 1995, Aero Fighters 3 is the most recent title to receive Hamster's Arcade Archives treatment. So being a Neo Geo title, we have both the English version, Aero Fighters 3, as well as the original Japanese, Sonic Wings 3. There's also the high score mode and caravan mode that usually accompany Arcade Archive releases. As we start the game, we get our controls, and then we have our arcade machine started. Neo Geo, Max 330 Mega, Pro Gear Spec, Classic SNK goodness. So following over the events of Aero Fighters 2, about a year later, we have the aliens that we are fighting in Aero Fighters 2 counterattacking, but instead of using more modern or advanced weaponry, they're using vintage World War II weaponry to attack both the Aero Fighters themselves and the world and humanity at large. So part of the plot of the story is they attack our base in a sneak attack, destroying all of the modern aircraft the Aero Fighters had, and thus we have to use vintage World War II fighters ourselves. There are 10 different characters that we can play as, with 2 representing each country. So if you're playing co-op, you'll lock yourself to a certain country with the 5 different countries that are available, and there are also 2 hidden characters as well, which I'll hopefully be able to go and show you today. So, first off, we start by putting credits into the machine, and let's go! And there we have it. We're flying the Red Rabbit as the pilot Kotomi. So, what do we have for a base? Well, Aero Fighters 3, like Aero Fighters 2 before it, is your standard vertical scrolling shoot 'em up, where we have our base shot, we also have a bomb, and we have the ability to power up. So our weapon can power up a total of 3 times from level 1 to level 4, but like the previous Aero Fighters and also the titles that came from the group that split off from Video System Saikyo, your most powerful level will wear off to a weaker level. Not something that I'm a particular fan of. The stages are relatively short, and then we get to the bosses. Needless to say, the bosses are very tanky. All puns aside, they really do take a lot of time to take out, making them actually significantly longer of a fight than the stages that usually precede them. So the Red Rabbit's bomb is a really fun to use period of invulnerability. Okay, real quick. So when you defeat a boss, sometimes this ship goes and shows up. And if you destroy the left wing, you'll go one way of a branching path. If you destroy the right wing, you'll go another way. The game has branching paths, and that's awesome. My sister was kidnapped again, and it's all determined by which wing you destroy of that ship that shows up at the ends of stages 1, 4, and 7 specifically. So the game itself has 18 total stages, and over the case of a 2-loop play, you'll play through a grand total of 16 stages, although you could potentially go the same path both times, but there are 18 possible stages that you could possibly be traveling between. It's really neat that there's that kind of replayability in this kind of shoot 'em up. I really appreciate that system, and it's one of the things I really enjoy about this title. And especially the way that you unlock the stages, it doesn't feel jarring at all. It's just one of those things that's in the game itself, and it feels so smooth and natural. So here we find ourselves at the end of the harbor stage. Had we picked the other direction, we would have gone to the desert stage. Once again, we deal with quite a tanky multi-staged boss. So this carrier, we have to destroy both of its elevators, and once the elevators are destroyed, we'll unlock the lower path of the ship below. Tanks will start coming at us, but just as long as we destroy the tower, boom, we're on to the next stage. Stages 3 and 6 That's what hot looking playing. Let's begin pursuit. The stages 3 and 6 will always be bonus stages, though the kind of bonus stages they are vary as well. There are a total of 5 different bonus stages throughout the course of the game, so you'll encounter 2 every playthrough. This bonus stage, we're just destroying tanks. As the tanks are destroyed, they'll leave icons that we can pick up. The closer we pick the icons up, the money icons up to at the top of the screen, the more points we get from those particular enemies. And now we are on to Stage 4, the Grand Canyon. So that is basically what we have here from Aero Fighters 3. Really similar to Aero Fighters 2, but if you enjoyed those titles or Psycho's titles, it's definitely worth a look. What do we have minus flavor-wise? Well, the stages, as short as they are, that's definitely one of the things that's disappointing, as they're really neatly put together. I would like the stages to last a little bit longer. But in the end, the game feels more like a boss rush than anything else, as the stages just are too short and we encounter the bosses rather quickly. There's also my regular beef with the whole degrading power-up system. By having power-ups that will lapse over time, especially if you're not using them, I just don't like that. It's fine if it has a set amount of ammo, but even then, man, I'm not the biggest fan. And also just how tanky some of the bosses can be. Even if you have a powerful bomb that you're using against them constantly, it doesn't feel like you're making that much progress about them. That said, the plus flavors, I love the zaniness in the game itself, the whole weird sense of humor, and it's not coming out as well since I'm actually using one of the secret characters in the game, but you've got that zaniness that's present in there with several of the characters. Some of the characters interplay when you're playing in co-op. And one of the things I love is just the branching system that this game has. Like I said, it feels so natural and it adds a lot of replayability to the game. Where it's like, okay, so what if I go and play the game through this way? Can I get more points going this way? Is it fun to go and play the game through in this path? I really, really like that. And also, some of these zany, bizarre bosses, as tanky as they may be, it's kind of fun fighting this rocket ship over the city of London. So I think Aero Fighters is one of those sweet titles that's definitely got kind of a bite-sized feel to it. A little bit of a hard cookie to swallow sometimes, but definitely one that you can enjoy every now and then. Also, just as a Arcade Archives title, it's really affordable and accessible these days. So if you like this kind of vertical scrolling shoot 'em up, I would highly, highly encourage you to check out Aero Fighters 3. It's currently available on the Switch, with I do believe plans to release on the PlayStation 4. Not here either. Anyway, thank you so much for coming out and joining me for Shoot 'em Up Saturday. And as always, I look forward to seeing you again next week.